So what I got wrong. Matchup wise, we talk about Packers interior offensive line against their slant looks. Listen, we didn't run the ball great. It was, at 3.2, 3.3 yards of carries for the running backs. But Jaden Reed got involved, and he bumped that up. Then obviously Jordan Love with the scrambles. We did a good job at pass pro. They didn't really they played a physical brand of football up front like they always do. I really think a lot of Lee McNeil, 3rd-round pick from a couple years ago. I think he's really good. Hutchinson. It's the style of the game. So they can load the box more because we're up. Like there's a bunch of stuff that happens, right? So I'm not going to say that we did a great job or a poor job necessarily on this. I'm just going to say that the way the game is played, like we're not built. We don't have Kevin Berry playing tight end. We don't have a Bubba Franks. We don't have a Will Henderson, right? So right now you don't have Aaron Jones. So, and that's not a really great offensive line for run blocking. So you're not really built to be like playing with the lead is great, but playing with the lead with like Coach LaFleur, he's probably thinking like, I got to throw the ball still. Like I'm not able to run and get first downs. So they had a couple, good plays. I thought the tight ends are continuing to improve in the running game. They're not great, but some of the stuff that you're doing, like leading Watson and Jaden Reed, like those are 3 runs that we saw that averaged probably negative yardage. And you're going like, maybe we don't need to run those because that's 3 yards. If you want to average 4 yards a carry and you got 3 yards that average -2, like that's a huge flip flop considering you're only running the ball 20 times with running backs. So it's just those things like you want to see that you're going to make the most out of each opportunity by, I thought the team did a really good job in the passing game of putting people in positions to make plays. Obviously with the reverses with Reed, that rock and roll idea, really, really smart. In the running game still, you're like, dude, that neither of those guys is Lazard. So you can't lead with them, even on a safety. It's just they're not they mentality wise, it's not there. Not yet. Number 2, Lions run game against the Packers run D. So our defense, like their run game did pretty well, but it was mostly explosive plays, and they're down by 17 points, down by 20, whatever. I mean, it's a huge disparity in the score until late. And so the game changes. What I would say is this, and I think we showed enough to all agree that our defense dominated, absolutely warhammered their offensive line and running game, pass game, whatever. They just absolutely got dominated. Now they had some big plays. They fell forward for 5 yards, 4 yards a couple of times. But as far as like who came out and needed a Band-Aid, they did. Like our team did not need a lot of Band-Aids after this game because they were going full steam ahead. And the third one, Laporta versus who exactly? Well, Laporta started off the game, the first drive. He's got the touchdown. He's got the big play. And he's got, 8 targets, 5 receptions, 47 yards, touchdown, and then the 31-yard long play. The game kind of went, like everything kind of went out the window because we pressured them like 20 plays. I think they had 3 sacks. So it said 12 knockdowns. But I want to say if you just look at like how many times this dude running for his life, it was like 20 snaps that he was running for his life. And it just changes the way you can play football. I mean, there's just they missed Laporta. They missed him at least twice in the first half where he was wide open across the middle, not wide open for NFL. And he's just not throwing the ball well. Preston Smith's in his face. He's running, Kenny Smith's about to take him down. So those things are as much a function of what the defensive line did to their offensive line in the pass rush as anything else, and not having a mobile quarterback and et cetera. But Laporta's, he's a real deal, man. I mean, he can just get open. Keys to victory: turnovers, pressure equals picks. Couldn't be more true. Love's got 3 touchdowns. Goff's got 3 turnovers, excuse me. Couldn't be more true. Sean Gary's got 3 sacks. We got all you can eat yesterday. It was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Limit the explosive plays. They were gashing deep. We made them work for the most part. They had a couple nice runs. They had a couple of big throws. But they did really have to earn their yards, and they had to earn their yards in the passing game. And I wrote down for the running backs, but really as much as in the passing game, because of all the things we're talking about. That defensive line, you can't say enough about how good their defensive line played. And then the last one with Aaron Jones out, go simple. Right? Follow that Bears game plan. Literally first play of the game, they follow the Bears game plan. But when you talk about what are you trying to accomplish? Understand their play action, check. Running game is there, like it's our ability to get there, check. But converting on third downs, like you're just doing the things that you have to do. And you have 377 yards on offense. I mean, listen, the Detroit Lions had 464 yards of offense. Okay? It's not like they didn't move the ball. It's not like they didn't expose our secondary in some places that it's, has injuries and this and that. But what it does mean is, man, they had to fight. They had to go the distance. And again, we talked about it last week with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense and how the Packers defense is starting to kind of maybe feel like that, where we're going to give you some yards, but you're not going to get the points that you expect. The Detroit Lions thought they were going to drop 35 like yesterday. No question. And they could have. But turnovers, fourth down, not converting on third, those pressures, having a non-mobile quarterback with that kind of pass rush, like it all played its part. And while you're coming back, you always rack up yards. When it came down to it and you had to convert, couldn't get the job done. So that's it. I mean, that's one of those games where, I'll say it again, that was the first time I watched as a whole team. You watch the game and you go, that might be a playoff team. They look like, you get Aaron Jones, but you start going like, okay, maybe get some guys healthy. We got some people continuing to improve their play. We cut some of the fat off, some of the stuff we're trying to do, maybe in the running game, the wide receiver leads, for example. It looks like Coach LaFleur and that offensive staff are figuring out exactly what Jordan Love wants to do and figuring out exactly, we're not going to try to make Watson what he's not. We're going to embrace what he is. We're going to let Jayden Reed do all the fun stuff, the human joystick, Dante Hall stuff. You guys call Deebo Samuel or whatever, whatever. We've got that spot filled. We got Romeo Doubs filling that necessary route running, get open across the middle void. We got two young guys, Heath and Wicks, that have showed up the last couple of weeks. So you've got and you got an offensive line, quite frankly, that can pass block pretty damn well. And if Jordan Love's pocket presence is going to continue to improve, it looks good. It all comes down to, can you get consistently the level of physical violence that you got from that defensive line? Because that completely changed this game. Just changed I can promise you, I've been on the sidelines. That changed the way they felt about themselves. Talk about the Detroit Lions, the way they were getting their backs beaten up. So, guys, enjoy the weekend. I don't know if people are watching games or not, but you can always check out the other podcasts here on the Process to Perform channel on YouTube. Check me out, Mike Wall 68 on Twitter, Process to Perform on Instagram. Guys, this is On My Block. Thanks for watching. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving and have a great weekend again. Talk to you soon.